Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Meet Praneeth. In today's video, we are going to discuss H.R.3648, which also stands for eagleact of 2022. Now, does eagleact stands for? Eagle stands for Equal Access to Green Cards for Legal Employment. Now, why we are discussing this in today's video, it's because there are a lot of news and a lot of people are talking about this, that it might be passed or might be voted for during the lame duck session. Now, let's dive deep into this HR 364 and understand why it is important, especially for Indians, and if it's passed, what will happen. So let's stay tuned and let's dive into this video right now. So before starting and diving deep into HR 3648, let me remind you that this bill was also introduced in 2021, I think June of 2021, and it was also passed by both the House and the Senate, but never came into action. So the idea is that this time in the lame duck session, and what is lame duck session? The lame duck session is the transition of power from the current government to the new government, because you know that currently both House and the Senate is controlled by the Democrats, but from Jan 3rd, 2023, the House will be now controlled by the Republicans and the Senate will be controlled by the Democrats. So in the lame duck session, which is probably the session before the transfer of power and before the holidays, the government really wants to basically push bills that they really care for. And HR 3648, which stands for Eagle Act, which is Equal Access to the Green Cards for Legal Employment, is on the cards. Now, if it gets passed and if it comes into action, that would bring a lot of relief to a lot of Indians who are waiting for their green cards for a long time. So let's understand what's the aim of this bill. The aim is that it will allow the employers to hire or basically people on their merit instead of their birthplace. That's the first aim. And how it will be achieved? It will be achieved by removing the per country quota. So right now, each country only gets 7% of the 140,000 green cards in the employment-based category. Now, once we remove this quota, what will happen is the green cards will be available for the country which is most retrogressed. And in employment-based, India tops the list. So most of the people who are waiting from India will get their green cards sooner. And this would be a big relief. But this will not happen in one go. This transition of per country quota removal will happen over 9 years. So each year the government will make sure that no country is excluded from the visas being given, and also they will reserve some visas for nurses, physical therapists, and any other professions that are most important or are required for the United States. Also, they will reserve some visas for family members of United States citizens or permanent residents who are not in the country currently and are trying to apply for the green card, which is also known as the NVC application. Now, the other important thing about this bill is it also strengthens some of these H-1B requirements. So, and the idea is to protect the US workers and also ease up the process for DOL, which is Department of Labor, to look into employers which are abusing the H-1B visas or doing some fraudulent activity. So this is the first two things. The third and the most important thing is, and it will be, I think it's one of the best part of this bill, is that this bill also will allow for people who are waiting for their green card. Now, who are these people? First of all, they should be non-immigrant. They should be on a temporary non-immigrant visa and should be waiting for their green card for at least 2 years. If they meet all these three conditions, they can apply for their green card. However, their green card would not be given to them until their visa number is available. But what will happen is, once they apply, they can get their EAD and AP, which will help them transition off from their temporary visa, like H-1B, F-1 and whatnot, and help them go start a new employment, start a business, or travel in and out of the country without any restrictions. So that's the aim of this bill. I think this bill would be very helpful for a lot of Indians, a lot of Chinese who are waiting for their green card and are in a most retrograde state. Now, will it pass? Very difficult to say. I think if there was a lot of news that it will be up for vote this week, but it didn't come up for vote. I'm hoping it will come up in the next week, at least before the holidays. If it happens, probably there would be a chance that it might get approved and it comes to action. So even after it passes in both the House and Senate, it has to come into action. Then only the people who are waiting in the line will get some relief and will get some benefits from this bill. So just I will quickly recap so that anyone who is just skipping the video and watching the end part of it knows what the bill stands, what are the aims of the bill. The first is removal of the per country quota that will allow the Indians who are waiting for a long time to get their green card sooner. The second is strengthening the H-1B requirements, protecting the US workers, and also easing up the process for DOL to look into companies or employers who are abusing H-1B. The third is whoever is a non-immigrant and is on a non-immigrant visa like H-1B, F-1 and whatnot, and are they waiting for their green card for waiting for their green card to file for their green card for more than 2 years, can start filing their green cards, and they will be given EADs and AP so that they can transition off to new employers, change jobs, start businesses, and travel in and out of the country. So in theory, H.R.3648 is really an amazing bill. I think it will bring a lot of relief to a lot of people who are waiting for their green cards for a long time. And I hope, and I fingers crossed, I hope this bill passes and comes to action. And I will see you in the next video very soon.